Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Let me first say shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work. Extra special big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have a special kind of respect for you. Shout out to the moms and pops, stay at home, retirees. Shout out to every single good, clean-hearted person who wishes good for others as much as they want good for themselves. Big up to you too. All right, so this video is not going to be too long this morning. There are two U.S. immigration changes that I think will affect a lot of us. Some people are going to say it's good. Some people are going to say that they are bad. I think that it fits right into the morning because it's morning time. A lot of people are going out to work right now, and they might have something to say about this. You know, when you're working or you're a working class and they're taking so much out of your check in taxes, right? And it's to benefit people who aren't working. So people have their thing to say about this. Here are the two immigration changes. Let's get right into it. So the first one is the U.S. to clamp down on visas for pregnant women, birth tourism. Now, I don't know if you know it. The second one is going to be about the public charge thing. And Donald Trump has won in court. He took it to court, he won, and now this is going to be in full effect. We'll talk about the public charge in a minute. But first, let's talk about the pregnant women giving birth in the U.S. So before, it was common and it's perfectly legal for a woman to come from another country and give birth in the United States of America. European women, especially from the far parts of Europe, Russia, and these places, they actually see this practice as investing in their children's future. The Constitution of the United States of America allows for, if you are born on U.S. soil, you are automatically a United States of America citizen. None of your parents have to be citizens. If you are born on the soil, you are a citizen. So there are large communities surrounded with this, and the business makes billions of dollars by coordinating, getting people to come over to give birth, charging them a set amount of money. And there are a lot of Russian or European millionaires, billionaires, or just regular people who save their money for years. And what they do is they come over, they coordinate with these people. They're given a nice hotel suite. Usually it's on the beach somewhere like Miami or some tropical nice place. They turn it into a whole vacation. And this was perfectly legal. When they're coming into the country, they are asked, what are you coming for? And they say, I'm coming to give birth. And the immigration officer could not stop them from coming in just based on them saying, I'm coming to give birth. As long as they were able to provide all the paperwork that they're going to give birth in a public hospital, they're going to pay for it in cash, pay all the doctor's bill and their hospital stay in cash. While they're there, their accommodations are paid for, nothing more they can say. So there were these women coming in, and usually what I found, it was like young women, 20, 21, 22, with some wealthy older guy that's like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s even, right? And she'll come and she'll give birth to his child, and then they'll take the baby and leave and go back to their country. And then when the child is old enough, 18, they will send that child back to the U.S. to live with relatives. That child will be a citizen here and entitled to all the rights of a citizen in the U.S. All right. Donald Trump has put a change in that. And the change in that is that now women can no longer say, I'm coming to the U.S. to give birth. if you're going to say I'm coming to the US to give birth, you are probably going to be denied entry. So, but here is the gateway around it. I am coming to the US to have a medical procedure done. I have other issues going on that I need to see a doctor for. And of course, they have to show paperwork that they're coming for something else other than to give birth. Now, in the process, you can still give birth, but the paperwork can no longer say I am coming to give birth. So that's one of the changes. All right. The next change now, which I think will affect more of us than anything else, is the public charge change. So I remember doing the public charge video, and a lot of people were saying, SouFlo, you're just scared of people then, because why are you scaring people? It's not going to happen. Don't you see they're fighting it in the courts? Yeah, it happened. Okay, it happened, and it's now going to be in full effect. What is it? The public charge? Public charge basically says that if you are, let me just read it straight from the source. So, our immigration law includes a provision that says that a person is inadmissible. That means you are not allowed or should not be allowed into the United States of America. Or if you're already here, you should not be allowed to live here continually if they are likely to become a public charge. Meaning, if they could be denied admission, letting you in, or they could be denied their green card based on that basis, that you're going to be dependent upon the system for what we call welfare then. But there are a long list of things that fall under that system. Under our current policies, public charge refers to an individual or individuals who are primarily dependent on the government for subsistence, like people who rely on cash assistance programs or are required long-term care at the government's expense. And the reason why I said that, it was fitting to do this video this morning because a lot of you are going out to work this morning, and I don't know if you know it or not, but some of this money, the government has no money besides your money, right? If you're a working person, and some of your money is going to this cause right here. And this is one of the things that Donald Trump is saying, that this is a burden on the people who get up and go to work every day. And then when they look at their paycheck, it's so much taken out in taxes. And some of the taxes, you don't even understand what it is. Well, a lot of it goes towards the care system for people who are dependent upon the system for whatever reasons it may be. This law affects those. Now, people are confused because they're saying, well, I wonder if when I was on the WIC program when I was pregnant, if that's going to affect my paperwork and all. It's not. They already put out a long list of people who will not be affected, and they put out a list of people who will definitely be affected. I'm going to read on a little bit more. This law only affects those who are applying for a permanent resident status or green card in the United States of America through a U.S. citizen or permanent resident family member, so a sponsor. Those who are applying for certain temporary visas abroad, or people who are applying for immigrant visa at a consulate abroad based on a family petition. So your family petitioned for you to be here. People might be here already, and they are on what they call temporary paperwork until your permanent paperwork goes through. Those people are going to be finding it difficult because now that this is in full effect, it has been passed. It is in full effect. It has taken full effect. Now you're going to have extra scrutiny. And if anyone in that household where you are residing or you yourself are found to be a beneficiary of public assistance, then there goes your chances for your status to be adjusted to permanent resident. Many people are not affected by public charge rules, including people who are applying for other types of immigration status. Most current permanent residents and people who do not plan to apply for any immigration benefits. So, of course, if you don't plan to apply for any immigration benefits, of course, you're not affected. But for those who are planning to apply, they will be affected. On August 14th of 2019, the Department of Homeland Security published a final rule related to public charge in the Federal Register that would affect applications decided by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, within the United States. However, that new rule had been blocked. This is what we're talking about. That new rule had been blocked. And when I did the video first, the new rule was blocked. And people were saying that I was scaring people because why do you think the new rule was blocked, SouFlo? It's because it's not going to take effect. Okay. See, I know who the president is and I know what his agenda is, right? And he has people around him that, now let me tell you, this isn't Democrat or Republican. Like I said again, the man that is in office right now, he is placed there to get certain things done. And they're going to be done whether we like it or not. Some people, they have family members caught. I speak to an immigrant community. Some people, they have family members caught up in this. So they're going to be like, oh my God, this is going to affect my mom's status now. Or this is going to affect my sister or my brother now. It's close to home, so it's going to be emotional. But the man that is in office, I know that this was not going to last for long. So they blocked it. It was blocked by the courts while the legal challenges against the new rules were decided. So it was not in effect. Long-standing public charge policy continues to apply to all cases decided by the USCIS. Please note that different rules apply for those whose applications will be decided by U.S. consulate or by embassies abroad. This packet does not address the rules that apply at the consulate and the embassies abroad. Basically, if they have to wait on their decision somewhere, you're in Jamaica or you're in another Caribbean island, Trinidad, Guyana, wherever, and you're waiting for your paperwork and things have to be decided over there, then this does not affect you. That is what they say. But if the person who is applying for you is on public assistance, then I think it is going to affect you as well, because they're going to look at it and say, well, the person who's applying for you is already using up welfare benefits, already proving that they need help surviving here. So how are they going to bring you into the country? Now check it. What Donald Trump had said before is this. He said they are raping the system, and the way the immigrant community is raping the system is that most people that came here through somebody else, right? Most of us that came here, like my mom filed for me, or my dad brought me here, and then, so somebody brought you here. That person who brought you here, at some point, more than likely, were not able to stand on their own 100%. We didn't come here with a bag of money, right? And we needed help in order to move forward. This is the president weighing out his mathematics. Now you're on public assistance. You filed for others to come, and they're now here. Now they're on public assistance. and they're going to file for others to come. And they're going to come and be on public assistance. And before you know it, you have a long line of people on public assistance, people filing for more people to come over to get on public assistance. And what that does is it takes away the money from the actual people who are supposed to be using it. And guess who those people are? Born citizens. That's what they're talking about. Or naturalized citizens. Naturalized citizen gets the same benefits as born citizens until you get into certain areas. Then you're no longer seen as someone who is worthy of those benefits. So this is where it's at right now. It has been passed. Trump had another successful day in court. And it is, I had to break it down because a lot of people are confused right now. And they don't know if it includes them. They don't know if it includes their family members. So with that said, just now you should understand if you are included or not. I know I can testify for those who go to work their butt off, and the more you work is the less you make, because the more you work is the more you get taxed. That's just real. What I see happening, here's where things get deep, right? What I see happening is a division between people of color, because, check it out, I overheard people of color that are African Americans. I overheard African Americans, and they're doing this for a reason. So African Americans, here's the division, here's the divide and conquer. We have to look at this from all angles. And the African Americans do have a point. And their point is this. When immigrants come into the country, right? A lot of these immigrants don't even respect the African Americans. And I don't know why they say African Americans, because when you see Europeans, you don't say European American. They label them African American, and the people are saying, well, maybe it should be American African, since I was born in America. And a lot of them, their grandmother was, and grandparents are from here, their great-grandparents are from here. If you go back generations of being from America, then you should be called an American, not an African American. You didn't have to put where civilization began or where my ancestors come from in front of where I am from. Constantly reminding them that you're not really American, you're an African American. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we hold pride in being African American, but when the immigrants come over from all these other nations, they hold their noses up at African Americans most of the time, right? So the African Americans are saying, you come here, we have fought for this. We have fought for this. So if anybody should be sitting on this, if anybody should call this reparations and use up this system and all its benefits, it should be us, or it should be somebody like us. That's their argument. And I really can't argue with that. And I have seen a lot of immigrant communities come over. Again, my favorite phrase, like from my grandmother, they come over with not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it through. And and they still feel as if they are better than African Americans or are superior to African Americans. You know what I'm saying? So they have a point there. It's not really they're coming to take their jobs. It's more like they're coming to sit on the system, and they want that money freed up. Free up the money so we can use the money. Free up the money. That's what they're saying. Free up the money so it's ours, so we can use it. But when you bring all these people in, and no one in position of authority is brave enough to say, put a stop to it, you guys are just letting more people in that from impoverished places, that are coming to sit on the dole, I mean, they have a point. They have a point. So, the Washington Post headline for this morning, along with New York Times and any other major entity, the headline says, if you don't understand what I'm saying, this is my source or these are my sources. The headline says, the Supreme Court has allowed Donald Trump's administration to proceed with wealth test for immigrants. That is what one said. The other one just said that he won in court and it is now in full effect. CNBC, the Supreme Court allows Trump's public charge immigration rule to take full effect. Washington Post, Supreme Court allows Trump's administration to proceed with what they call a wealth test. A lot of people are saying it's racist because it targets immigrant communities and it's going to affect mainly immigrant communities of color. Supreme Court and then the New York Times, the Supreme Court allows Trump's wealth test. So it's in full effect. And this video is basically to say who is affected and who will not be affected. Now, if you're going to be affected by this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have anybody personally that I'm filing for at the moment. And I am not on any public assistance, but I understand that people do use public assistance to further themselves. There are people that that's what it should be used for, though. I think it should be used, if you need it, use it to further yourself, right? And then get off of it. But some people actually just sit on it. Now, you came here, Jam Down, thank you. If you're going to go to somebody, it's always my belief that if you're going to go to someone else's country, let's not talk around corners. If you're going to come to the United States of America, let's be direct. If you're going to come to the United States of America from your home country, your country of birth, if you're going to pack up and pick up and leave, right? The sunshine, the beaches, your family members, your blood relatives, so on and so forth, then you should be highly motivated to use all the opportunities that are available in that foreign country that you're going to better yourself. There are a lot of people that do come and better themselves, but there are a whole lot, when I say a whole lot that do come and sit on the system and they think that that is bettering themselves. There's a stop being put to that. There's a stop being put to that. So I remember someone saying, SouFlo, Brooklyn living up. And I can tell you about in New York, when them dress up fresh every day. I mean, their brands could be knockoffs, but the fact that they have no employment anywhere and they dress fresh every day and they get to pay $15 for rent or $25 for rent because the government foots the rest of the bill, and they have vouchers or a card now that they use for food. So shelter is taken care of. Food is taken care of. Some of them even sell the food vouchers or the card, sell the money that's on the card for real cash, like a hustle. All kinds of ways to hustle the system. You know, but I remember one of my subscribers saying that this is a regular thing. I see it all the time. So it's not like it's not happening. It's happening. And Trump knows that it's happening. They've always known that it's happening. The funny thing is, Trump's he has a mansion in someplace upstate New York, and it was busted. They ran in there, I believe it was 2 years ago, and they found that majority of the people that worked there were undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants. And this is a place where he spent most of his time. So there was no way he could not have known. So they had an interview. There's actually a documentary out on it. They had an interview with the people that work there, the gardener, the people that cut the grass, especially with the nanny. She said, I'm the one that takes care of his grandchildren ever since they were born. I have all the key codes to the gate, to the doors inside this house. I know every part of this place. Her English wasn't even that strong. And they said, well, if you're taking care of the grandkids, there's no way he does not know. Or there's no way he can say he does not know you. Because that's what he said. When they asked him, he said, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't control that stuff. I have other people that work on that stuff. I'm in and I'm out and I don't really associate. She said, that's a lie. He spoke to her on many occasions. They even sat and spoke about her status because she had been there for a couple of years already and she was becoming scared that she was going to be one of them that was caught up in, you know, when ICE was going around swooping everybody up. So she spoke to him personally and he assured her that he would make sure that her paperwork goes through fine and she gets her status adjusted, and he never did. So there's a double take to the system. There are people that use immigrants and they're glad that you are here and you are undocumented. Let's be honest. A lot of these big corporations do it backdoor style. They're glad that you're there and you're undocumented just so they can mistreat you, because no citizen or no permanent resident is going to work for $2.50 an hour. Less than half of what the minimum wage is. So there are people that take advantage of that, right? I know I wouldn't do it. And there are many more people that would not do it. So they're glad. This is politics though, because while they're passing these laws on the surface, it's a revolving door. It's just like how they deport one whole set of people out. They bring in a whole nother set to replace them again. You know what I mean? One whole set gets deported, another whole set gets brought in the same way. And it's a revolving door. So it's politics, and I ain't playing no politics. I'm just using my platform to let my audience know the changes so that you can go make your proper adjustments, whether it's contact a lawyer or do what you have to do to make sure that your family is secured. That's all my position is. I don't play the politics. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. And when it comes to Jamaican stuff, I'm not JLP and I'm not PNP. I just like to have people informed, so I stay up on the changes, because the changes are coming so fast and they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it so you can't keep up. It's funny because the last immigration video I did about the 5 new changes for 2020, I'm going to attach that video to this video when I'm done. Those 5 changes came like overnight. And they came with a message. And the message is this: I did not know can no longer be used as an excuse. Why do you think they're saying that? I did not know can no longer be used as an excuse. That means when they have you hemmed up in the system and you're talking one thing and they're telling you no. See, it went into effect last week right here. Oh, but I didn't know that, because no longer an excuse. So you better stay up on the changes because they're happening fast. And that's all a part of the confusion. It's made to confuse everybody. It's made to make people feel like insecure, unsecured. So everyone's running around, oh my God, oh man, damn, oh. Stay with the changes. They're happening fast, but stay with them. That's all I have for you this morning. So again, shout out to my people going out to work. They want to pay. I'm going to read some comments real quick, and then I'm going to cut this off. Yes, manners and respect, and thank you for tuning in. I just try my best to keep people up to date, man. I'm not selfish. My family is good. I've always been good. I did a video the other morning where I told a story in first person as if it was me, where I talk about how I got my green card and how I got my citizenship. And I was saying, first thing I did when I got I don't know if y'all saw it. First thing I did when I got a visa to get out of Jamaica to come visit the US, the first thing I did was I ran off, right? And then I got a big fatty boom boom white girl to help me get my papers straight. And it was a joke. That wasn't me. Okay, but a lot of people didn't listen to the end of the video, so they thought that was my life story. But that is a lot of other people's life story. Morning, Ramakan. Good morning. But the truth is, I'm not selfish, and I like to see other people prosper as well. I've really been here since I was a kid, and I'm good. My status has always been good, but I'm not one of those that are confused. I know that I wasn't born in the USA, and they have a rule that goes along with your citizenship, and the rule says your citizenship can always be taken away. I don't know what some people, them can't take it away except for this and for that. What's written on paper, I keep warning people, and what they're doing are two different things. These people write stuff's written on paper, it's supposed to be law. The only way they can take away your citizenship is through treason, or if you denounce your citizenship, or so on and so forth. That list is growing longer and longer and longer, and we are seeing people who are telling us their stories to our face. So it's time for us to stop being in denial, right? Basically, none of us are safe 100%. Having your citizenship makes it a little bit better. Having a green card and being here legally makes it better as well than being illegal, running around looking over your shoulder all the time. But that's the way the stuff goes. People go through stuff to get to stuff. So I don't play hypocrite. I don't play hypocrite because I've known people who went from being illegal to straightening their stuff out and then went all the way in with it and turned into a story that anybody would be proud of. And it started from them bending and breaking the laws, just like how those who set the laws and bend and break it for their own convenience, people do it too. And they get away with it and they make a good life out of it for themselves. You know what I mean? So, who am I to say? I just want to pass information on, man, and hope that you use the information. Somebody says in Canada you can't file while on public assistance. Yes, I've heard that about Canada, and it's been that way forever with Canada. Well, in the US, it's supposed to be that way as well, because you are supposed to be able to prove that whoever you're bringing here, you are able to sustain them. You're actually responsible for whoever you bring here. I believe it was for the first 5. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I got my computer here, but I don't want to look it up. I think it's for the first 5 years or 10 years that they're here. You are responsible for them. So if they come here, say for instance, you tell the government, look, when Charlie comes here, Charlie's going to be staying at my house. This is the address. It's 5 years. Thank you. This is the address, my address, right? I work here. I make this much, more than enough to take care of Charlie along with myself. It's 10 years. Some say it's 10 now, 10, 5. I have my computer right here. It's locked. But I'm trying to talk to you and get this finished with. It's one of those. You're responsible for them for a number of years. That's a challenge. Go look it up on your own. Everybody that's listening. So if you're able to prove, and you have to be able to prove the income amount, whatever, people lie and falsify papers to get their family members over. And what ends up happening when they come, you know, your family start looking at you like you have to start pull your own weight, you know, because you're there a whole day, you burn AC, my light bill gone up, you run water whole day, the water bill gone up, you're taking up extra space in the house, we need some help, I pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? These things start to happen, and then family members fall apart quickly. And say that family member, Charlie, now leaves your home and go out on their own. You brought them here. They got a green card. Their paperwork got straight, right? They went out on their own within that time frame, and they went for some public assistance because they don't want to be on the street. The government can actually sue you who brought them here and make you pay back all the money that they collected. This is another step that is coming that Donald Trump said, and I did a video on this. I think I'm going to update this video. I did a video on this, I believe it was almost a year now. I'm going to go dig that video up too and update that video. So what he is suggesting next is that we go after, this is what he said, go after their pockets. Go after the pockets of the people who brought them here. The sponsors. So if you sponsored anybody and they come to the US and you and them fall out after they got their papers, within that time frame they went on public assistance, the government can sue you. Now we know how the government sue people in the US, right? Because you have your legal employment. There's something called garnishing your wages. So when they freeze your bank accounts and garnish your wages, this is how the IRS takes back money from people. And I'm sure it could be arranged, because it's all federal, so I'm sure it could be arranged that they squeeze their money back out of you in that manner to where your wages are garnished, which means they take your paycheck first, take out how much they want and send the rest to you kind of thing. But that's one of the suggestions that he has on the table as well. All right, people are saying it's 10 years. 10 years, 10 years. That's a long time. All right, let me see. Oh, somebody said, SouFlo, I know that wasn't you from the beginning when you were talking. Yeah, people were saying, and listen, enough people talk a lot of stuff about me on social media. I just act like I don't see it. And people send it to me. Y'all be watching some of everybody. So y'all send it to me. Boy, SouFlo, y'all gonna make them diss you up like this. This is one that said this about your wife. That the one that said that about your children. That I don't see any of them. But I know that the people who have been on the channel for a while, they would know that it wasn't me I was talking about per se. I thought it was funny. And I do know people that have been through it. Like I told y'all, I had a brethren, really good friend. This dude was a really good friend. And I firsthand watched him go through it. It was a Yankee girl, black American girl. She went to Jamaica, claimed she fell in love with him. She married him. She brought him here, or she encouraged him to come here, really, on a vacation. And when he came on the vacation, she encouraged him not to go back. And long story short, he was held hostage, basically, because while she was working out his paperwork for him to be here, she married him after he ran off, right? And while she was working out his paperwork for him to be here, she quit her job. She had children with somebody else that he has to take care of. She told him that she don't have to work as long as he's working. He was not allowed to go out. She started going out and coming in next morning or late night to early morning type of stuff. While then this man had to get 2 jobs. Like, he really went through it. And I saw that with my own eyes. So when I did that video, I was actually doing the video drawing from people that I actually really know and their situations. Some people said, boy, if me have left Jamaica, I say, come make some big white woman press me out in the bed. I'd come, and dog, I kiss me upon my mouth. And these kind of things. Just forget green card and citizenship. Me nah do it. I'm staying in Jamaica and suffering. That's a lie. And honestly, if that's my choice, like if that's the only choice I had and that's what I had to do, I can't tell you say I wouldn't do it. Because sufferation not sweet. A lot of Jamaicans outside of Jamaica like to curse other people when they say, yo, I be a sufferation, me that go through a yard. Nah, lie ya tell, Jamaica a paradise, and when you go on like say foreign is everything. Jamaica is expensive. Jamaica is paradise for some people. It's not paradise for everybody. When your money right, it can be paradise. When you have opportunities, it can be paradise. But this goes for every human being across the board. If you are in a place and a situation where you are stifled, where opportunities are limited, when opportunities are limited and you cannot see your true potential, right? You sit around feeling like you're wasting away. And that's one of the biggest problems in the Caribbean. They feel like they're wasting away. So people start taking drastic measures. Like a lot of them got involved in the scamming thing and these kind of things. People, when they got caught, people are like, but Ross, you have a college degree. Why are you doing this? And one of the biggest scammers out of Jamaica, he said, because opportunity was limited. My mother spent up all our money, send me go school. Mommy and daddy broke their pocket, their life savings, send me to UWI. Millions or 2 million and something dollars. Now I have to pay that money back. And when I got out of school, everywhere I went, they wouldn't let you get in on the ground floor and work your way up. They're telling you that them need people with experience. Well, how can I have experience when I just graduated from school, sir? That is what the youth was saying, you know. And he went on to make millions in scamming. And I'm talking about millions in US in scamming. And they were saying like his brain was so highly advanced, he was so intelligent that he could have been anything else other than what he was. He was one of them that was extradited out of Jamaica in handcuffs. And the people that were extraditing him was saying, and I was saying it too, like to go from Montego Bay, the cool, balmy breeze and nice beaches, to end up in North Dakota in the dead of winter. When they came off the plane in North Dakota, they showed all that as well, and I'm sure they did it as a deterrent. But when they came off the plane in North Dakota, snow, when the plane hit the runway, snow was so high on the ground, and you could see them handcuffed up, and they gave them like a thin hoodie, put the hoodie up so that the breeze don't burn your ears, and you could see them like this, handcuffed, shackled around the waist, and feet shuffling, and they're like this, shivering coming off the plane. Imagine if you never been to foreign before, and that was your first flight out. You've never been anywhere cold before, and you went from 90 degrees sunshine into minus 15 and 20 weather just like that overnight. So no, man, if that's my choice, me make a big fat girl press me out till me get my papers. I'll go and play with the dog. I might not kiss the dog on the mouth. I might have to turn and make the dog just kiss it so they can wipe it off and them kind of something there, you know. But I'm not taking no sufferation. Not when there are opportunities out there, and sometimes you have to apply yourself. People who make it, they're under the impression that everybody else could make it in the same way as well, and that's a lie. Lightning only strikes a couple of times in the same place, and it don't happen again. So if it happened for a lucky handful, then that's about it, right? So we all have to make our own way. That's why I say that I don't bash people for how they get to that other level. Get there. Don't kill nobody and rape nobody to get there though. And try to be as honest as possible. But if you gotta bend some rules somewhere, that's on you. I'm not encouraging you to bend nobody's rules. I don't want nobody come talk about SouFlo. I encourage people. You're using your platform to encourage people to do illegal activities. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do what you do, get to where you need to be, and straighten yourself out. Right? All right. With that said, I'm going to leave this video right here. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Again, manners and respect, people. Big up to the people going out to work, man. Get up every single day. Hit that 9 to 5. Or some of y'all hitting 12, 13, 15 hours. Some of y'all hitting doubles. Some of y'all work on 2 different sides of a city. And you're working 2 jobs. Enough respect to you. Enough respect to you. Working people is who I respect. Okay? Honestly. So big up to you and thanks for tuning in again. Those immigration changes, pass them on because somebody is going to get hit and then say, oh, but I didn't know. And it's no longer an excuse. All right? Have a blessed day, people. Keep a smile on your face and keep a upful spirit. I'm out. Peace.